He is Solomon, one of the prophets of Allah. He is Solomon, the son of the Prophet Dawood, and he was distinguished by intelligence and acumen. The name of the Prophet Solomon was mentioned in 7 surahs and in 16 verses. Allah has spoken in the Qur'an about the blessings that Allah bestowed upon him and upon his father, the Prophet Dawood. As the Qur'an mentioned Allah's favor over Prophet Soliman and his father, the Prophet Dawood. Allah has placed the jinn, men, wind, and demons at his service. The demons do things that humans cannot do. And Allah sent the Prophet Soliman to Bani Israel. And he inherited the rule from his father, Dawood, when he was 12 years old. And he ruled Bani Israel for 40 years. During Dawood's rule, 2 men came to him. One of them a landowner, and the other a owner of sheep. The owner of the land said that the sheep went to his land and spoiled it. So the Prophet Dawood decided to the owner of the land to take the sheep from its owner. So he left Dawood and went to our master Solomon, who was 11 years old, and told him what happened. The opinion of the Prophet Solomon was that the owner of the land should take the sheep to benefit from them in cultivating his land until it returns to what it was. Then give the sheep to its owner. And when the Prophet Dawood learned of that, he ruled by the rule of Solomon. And the Prophet Soliman assumed power. After the death of his father, the Prophet Solomon prayed to Allah to give him authority that he would not give to anyone after him. So Allah responded to him.
قال رب اغفر لي وهب لي ملكا لا ينبغي لأحد من بعدي إنك أنت الوهاب.
So when he left his house heading to his council, the birds came to him, and the people and the jinn helped him to sit. And Allah gave Prophet Soliman the ability to know and understand the language of all beings. The Prophet Soliman used birds in searches and investigations for water and knowledge of people's news. Among these birds were the hoopoe. One day, the Prophet Soliman did not find the hoopoe. So the Prophet Soliman became angry and said that if there was no reason for the hoopoe's absence, he would punish him with torture or murder. And when the hoopoe came, and the Prophet asked him about the reason for his absence, the hoopoe told him that he saw the city of Sabah and its queen Bilqis prostrating to the sun and worshipping it. So he did not punish him when he learned the reason, and gave the hoopoe a message to them ordering them to worship Allah. So the hoopoe threw it from the window of the palace of Queen Bilqis in her room. When the queen saw it, she gathered her people and took their opinion on that matter. They told her that Solomon and his people were very strong. So Bilqis sent precious gifts to the Prophet Solomon. When the gifts arrived to the Prophet Solomon, he threatened her with war. So she decided to go to him. And when Solomon learned of this, he gathered his people, all that Allah made in his service. And he asked them to bring the throne of Bilqis to him. So a demon from the jinn said to him, I will bring it before you rise from your seat before the meeting ends and our master Solomon rises from his council. Solomon was not convinced, because he wanted the throne before Queen Bilqis came to them. Then one of the scholars of his people said, I will bring it before you close your eyelids. And when the Prophet Solomon saw the throne, he thanked Allah and commanded his people to change it a little. When Bilqis came, the Prophet Solomon asked her, Is this your throne? She said as if it is it. So she was astonished by Suleiman's palace, and thought that its land was a river. So when she wanted to enter it, she revealed her legs. And when she saw these miracles, she announced her conversion to Islam.